Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael, and thank you for joining me today. Apologize about not getting in a video yesterday. I had woken up with like 15 minutes to go, so I had to rush out the door to get to work. Overslept, kept shutting off my alarm, but we're here today, continuing in God's Word, where we left off from, which would be chapter 36 in the book of Genesis. We are getting ready to get into the story and life of Joseph, the youngest son of Jacob, his favorite son, and the hardships and triumphs that he had endured, went through, and achieved through the grace of God and his obedience to God. And you'll see here that Joseph, as we read through these chapters finishing up Genesis, that he definitely had a lot of hardship. His brothers betrayed him, was originally going to kill him because of their jealousy of Joseph, and then decided to sell him into slavery to basically slave traders for the Egyptians, where he would be taken to Egypt, and then later on from Egypt was imprisoned in Egypt for a very long period of time, all while staying obedient and humble to God and God's will for him. It all worked through him. But we'll not get too far ahead of ourselves. It's just a little backstory of Joseph and the stories that we're going to be reading over the next week or so. So in all due time. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into chapter 36 of the book of Genesis, which is Yeshua's descendants, which leads into chapter 37, where we start to see Joseph's dreams. So, without further ado, open up your Bibles, get ready, and here we are with chapter 36 of Genesis. These are the generations of Yeshua, that is Edom. Yeshua took his wife from the Canaanites, Adah, and the daughter of Elon the Hittite, Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Basmath, Ishmael's daughter and sister of Nebaioth. Pardon me if I get some of these pronunciations incorrect. They're difficult names. Where was I? And Adah bore to Ishua Eliphaz, Basmath bore Reuel, and Aholibamah bore Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Yeshua who were born to him in the land of Canaan. Then Yeshua took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and all of the members of his household, his livestock, all his beasts, and all his property that he had acquired in the land of Canaan. He went into the land away from his brother Jacob, for their possessions were too great for them to dwell together. The land of their sojournings could not support them because of their livestock. So Yeshua settled in the hill country of Seir. Yeshua is Edom. These are the generations of Yeshua, the father of the Edomites in the hill country of Seir. These are the names. Pardon me, sorry. I'm normally better prepared than that. These are the names of Yeshua's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Yeshua; Reuel, the son of Basmath, the wife of Yeshua. The sons of Eliphaz were Taman, Amor, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. Timnah was a concubine of Eliphaz, Yeshua's son. She bore Amulek to Eliphaz. These are the sons of Adah, Yeshua's wife. These are the sons of Reuel, Nahath, Zara, Shema, and Mizah. These are the sons of Basmath, Yeshua's wife. These are the sons of Oholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon, Yeshua's wife. She bore to Yeshua Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the chiefs of the sons of Yeshua. The sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn of Yeshua. The chiefs Taman, Omar, Zepho, Kenaz, Korah, Gatam, and Amulek. These are the chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Adah. Now these are the sons of Reuel, Yeshua's son, the chief Nahath, Zara, Shema, and Mizah. These are the chiefs of Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Basmath, Yeshua's wife. These are the sons of Ahalabama, Yeshua's wife. The chiefs Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the chiefs born of Ahalabama, the daughter of Anah, Yeshua's wife. These are the sons of Yeshua, that is Edom, and these are their chiefs. These are the sons of Seir the Horite, and inhabitants of the land: Latan, Shabal, Zibeon, Anah, Dashan, Azar, and Dashan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the sons of Seir in the land of Edom. The sons of Latan were Horai and Hamam, and Latan's sister was Timnah. These are the sons of Shobal: Alvan, Mahath, Abal, Shopha, and Anam. These are the sons of Zibeon: Ayah and Anah. He is the Anah who found the hot springs in the wilderness, as he pastured the donkeys of Zibeon for his father. These are the children of Anah: Dishan and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anah. These are the sons of Dishan: Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Shuran. These are the sons of Ezir: Bilhan, Zavan, and Akan. These are the sons of Dishan: Uz and Aran. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the chiefs Latan, Shabal, Zibeon, Nah, Dishan, Azer, and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, chief by chief, in the land of Seir. These are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom, before any king reigned over the Israelites. Bela the son of Beor reigned in Edom, the name of his city being Dinhaba. Bela died, and Jehob the son of Zerah and Bashra reigned in his place. Jabab died, and Hisham of the land of the Temanites reigned in his place. Hisham died, and Hadad the son of Bedad, who defeated Midian in the country of Moab, reigned in his place, the name of his city being Avith. Hadad died, and Samlah of Masreka reigned in his place. Samlah died, and Shaul of Rehoboth on the Euphrates reigned in his place. Shaul died, and Baal Hanan the son of Akbor reigned in his place. Baal Hanan the son of Akbor died, and Hadar reigned in his place. The name of his city being Pau. His wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matrid, daughter of Mezahab. These are the names of the chiefs of Yeshua, according to their clans and their dwelling places by their names. The chiefs Timnah, Alva, Jeteth, and Oholibamah, Allah, Elah, Pinan, Kenaz, Timan, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Aram. These are the chiefs of Edom, that is Yeshua, the father of Edom, according to their dwelling places in the land of their possession. Whew, tongue-tied over that one. It's a lot of names that don't get spoken very often anymore. Pronunciations, I don't go and study how to pronounce them beforehand, so pardon me for any incorrections or pronunciations that I might have made. Continuing forward, we're on chapter 37, which is Joseph's dreams. Now Jacob lived in the land of his fathers, sojourning in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was pasturing the flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph. And remember, this is Jacob that we're speaking of as Israel. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other of his sons, because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a robe of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peacefully to him. Now Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. He said, "Hear this dream that I have dreamed. Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf arose and stood upright. And behold, your sheaves gathered around it and bowed down to my sheaf." His brothers said to him, "Are you indeed to reign over us, or are you indeed to rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. Then he dreamed another dream, and told it to his brothers, and said, "Behold, I have dreamed another dream. Behold, the sun, the moon, the 11 stars were bowing down to me." But when he told it to his fathers and to his brothers, When he told it to his father and to his brothers, his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow ourselves to the ground before you?" And his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept this saying in mind. Verse 12, Joseph sold by his brothers. Now his brothers went to pasture their father's flock over Shechem, and Israel said to Joseph, "Are not your brothers pasturing the flock of Shechem? Come, I will send you to them." And he said to him, "Here I am." So he said to him, "Go now, see if it is well with your brothers and with the flock, and bring me word." So he sent him from the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a man found him wandering in the fields, and the man asked him, "What are you seeking?" "I am seeking my brothers," he said. "Tell me, please, where are they pasturing the flock?" And the man said, "They have gone away, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. They saw him from afar, and before he came near to them, they conspired against him to kill him. They said to one another, "Here comes this dreamer. Come now, let us kill him and throw him into one of the pits. Then we will say that a fierce animal has devoured him, and he will see that what will become of his dreams." But when Reuben heard it, he rescued him out of their hands, saying, "Let us not take his life." And Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood, throw him into this pit here in the wilderness, but do not lay a hand on him, that he might rescue him out of their hand to restore him to his father." So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the robe of many colors that he wore, and they took him and threw him into a pit. The pit was empty, there was no water in it. Then they sat down to eat, and looking up, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, with their camels bearing gum, balm, and myrrh, on their way to carry it down to Egypt. Then Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers listened to him. Then Midianite traders passed by, and they drew Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. They took Joseph to Egypt. When Reuben returned to the pit and saw that Joseph was not in the pit, he tore his clothes and returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is gone, and I, where shall I go?" Then they took Joseph's robe and slaughtered a goat and dipped the robe in the blood. And they sent the robe of many colors and brought it to their father and said, "This we have found. Please identify whether it was your son's robe or not." And he identified it and said, "It is my son's robe. A fierce animal has devoured him." Joseph is without doubt torn to pieces. Then Jacob tore his garments and put sackcloth on his loins and mourned for his son many days. All his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted and said, "No, I shall go down to Sheol to my son, mourning." Thus his father wept for him. Meanwhile, the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and the captain of the guard. Chapter 38. Judah and Tamar. It happened at that time that Judah went down from his brothers and turned aside to a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hira. There Judah saw the daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. He took her and went into her, and she conceived and bore a son, and he called his name She conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. Yet again she bore a son, and she called his name Shelah. Judah was in Shezib when she bore him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord put him to death. Then Judah said to Onan, "Go into your brother's wife, and perform the duty of a brother-in-law to her, and raise up offspring for your brother." But Onan knew that the offspring would not be his, so whenever he went into his brother's wife, he would waste the semen on the ground, so as not to give the offspring to his brother. And what he did was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and he put him to death also. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, "Remain a widow in your father's house, till Shelah my son grows up." For he feared that he would die like his brothers. So Tamar went and remained in her father's house. In the course of time, the wife of Judah, Shua's daughter, died. When Judah was comforted, he went up to Timnah to his sheep shearers, he and his friend Hurrah the Adullamite. And then Tamar was told, "Your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear his sheep." She took off her widow's garments and covered herself with a veil, wrapping herself up, and sat at the entrance to Enaim, which is on the road to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown up, and that she had not been given to him in marriage. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. He turned to her at the roadside and said, "Come, let me come in to you," for he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. She said, "What will you give me that you may come in to me?" He answered, "I will send you a young goat from the flock." And she said, "If you give me a pledge until you send it." He said, "What pledge shall I give you?" She replied, "Your signet and your cord and your staff that is in your hand." So he gave them to her, and he went in to her. And she conceived by him. Then she arose and went away, and taking off her veil, she put on the garments of her widowhood. When Judah sent the young goat by his friend to the Adullamite to take back the pledge from the woman's hands, he did not find her. And he asked the men of the place, "Where is the cult prostitute who is at Enaim in the roadside?" And they said, "No cult prostitute has been here." So he returned to Judah and said, "I have not found her." Also the men of the place said, "No cult prostitute has been here." And Judah replied, "Let her keep the things as her own, or we shall be laughed at. You see, I sent this young goat, and you did not find her." About 3 months later, Judah was told, "Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has been immoral. Moreover, she is pregnant by immorality." And Judah said, "Bring her out and let her be burned." As she was being brought out, she went toward her father-in-law. "By the man to whom these belong, I am pregnant." And she said, "Please identify whose these are, the signet and the cord and the staff." Then Judah identified them and said, "She is more righteous than I, since I did not give her to my son Shelah, and he did not know her again." When the time of her labor came, there were twins in her womb. And when she was in labor, one put out a hand, and the midwife took and tied the scarlet thread on his hand, saying, "This one came out first." But as he drew back his hand, behold, his brother came out, and she said, "What a breach you have made for yourself." Therefore his name was called Perez. Afterward, his brother came out with a scarlet thread on his hand, and his name was called Zerah. All right, so there's going to be the finalizing of our reading for this morning. We'll continue reading tomorrow morning with chapter 39 and going forward. Actually, almost through Genesis. Been a nice road coming. A lot of discerning to take through. As you can tell, even with myself, the Old Testament is a little bit more difficult to discern and understand in its completion, which is why we need to study it more. For everything in the Old Testament is leading towards and is surrounded by Christ. And as you continue to read, delve in, and learn and receive God's truth, praying and fasting, you'll see the resemblances of Christ in all of Genesis. All of the Old Testament. It's all leading up to the New Testament. For you just even said, "I didn't come to abolish the law, but to complete it." So don't be disheartened, as I need to tell myself as well. I am still learning myself, continuing in all things, always learning, working on making my way through the Bible for the second time. First time I had it read to me, which is what gave me the inspiration. I think God put that thought in my head, and why I started this channel in the first place, was for some people that didn't necessarily have the strive or capability or whatever reasoning to be able to have this read to them. Not in any taking away of anything, for I read exactly as it says. I don't take away from it. I don't try to put things in there that's not in there. I read word for word exactly what's written. Now, sometimes you might have like an old English version or an old King James, where mine's the English Standard Version. And so the way things were pronounced or said might be necessarily different. The words in themselves are all the same. It's just a different type of English that's more modern to be capable of understanding. So with that, I do thank you for joining me. I love you all, and I hope you have a blessed week with the Lord. Continue to pray, get close to God, get an understanding of Him, reach out to Him, pull Him near you. It's things that everyone needs to be doing on a constant basis, myself included. For we all fall short of His glory, but He in His endlessly unfathomable mercy just wants us with Him. Like, it's incomprehensible. Like, we think that how we love our children. I mean, just think how God loves us and the things that He's done for us, and literally coming into physical human form and taking everything, the things that I did that have put Him on the cross, things that you've done that put Him on the cross. Even if there was only one person ever to exist, He still would have gone on the cross to save him or her, which is just the love of God, that agape love. It's unconditional. It has no, we can't even comprehend it. Our love has been so watered down and so meddled with, and so just that it's difficult for us to comprehend exactly the extent of His love for us. So yeah, just keep reading, keep praying, keep bringing Him closer, and keep those ears open. I love you all. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.